Benjamin and Cedric Alexander versus the Street Profits. It was a good match as usual. The Street Profits are ridiculously over. It's so amazing to see.
Yeah,
They're just so
it's
good.
awesome.
I just like it was just another one of those nights where I'm seeing them in the ring and I'm just like, it's like incredible how good they are. And I mean, I think both of them are. I think Dawkins gets kind of like the short end of the stick where people don't really talk about him as much.
They
But
don't, but
like
I will.
well, yeah, and he's incredible, but
I'll let you
Montez
go
is
off,
just,
but
like, so charismatic and just, like, so all over the place, like, I can't wait to see where their careers go. Like, whether it's
yeah.
together or separate, if it's kind of like a New Day thing where they don't really ever break up, but maybe Montez does his own, like, solo
Yeah.
career
Oh,
stuff, but I
yeah.
would be all for it because I really hate when they split up tag teams and then one of them always, like, basically falls off the face of the planet because it doesn't mean that they're not capable of being a star. It's just like there are people that are just better in tag teams, and it's not anything. There's nothing against them. It's not a knock on them, but it's like they're just more successful in a tag team environment. And so I would really hate for that to happen with the Street Profits because people have been saying forever that Montez Ford is going to be a top guy at some point,
No,
and I agree. But I would hate for that to come at the cost of Angelo Dawkins being forgotten about.
no, and he won't be because he is
He's
so
so good.
underrated. He's
Yeah.
so good in the ring, and the moves that he does are very fundamental, but he puts his own flair to them and
And he's
puts it
another one like Owens that's like a big dude, but he's doing flips and jumping over the top rope,
sneaky,
like, it's
sneaky high flyer.
yeah, and it's like it's kind of against everything that you know about big men doing wrestling, like, they don't
Big
do these
men, big
things.
meaty men
Big
slapping
men slapping
meat.
meat, doing flips, so
Flips.
yeah, doing, flips over the top rope,
Flips and
yeah.
shit.
So, that's kind of like the cool thing about him too, so, um, but I did wanna ask you, how do you feel about what the direction is right now for the Street Profits? Because I feel right now we're kind of seeing them in these random tag team matches, which is great. Like I'm glad that they're at least on TV, but I really want to see them have a proper feud. Like I want to have see them involved again in like better storylines. Like because they are both good on the mic, they're so good promos, backstage segments, like I wanna see more of that and not just them in the ring, but them actually have a feud. That doesn't have to be it for the titles, but it would be nice if the titles were split, which
That's where I think it's
might
going,
happen.
and that's
Y
where their success is going to come. Once the tag team title split, I mean, my prediction is next week at the Raw 30. Once those
Mhm.
split, they're going to become champions either at Mania or right after it, and then they're going to have their own lengthy title run because they should have had it at SummerSlam, honestly. SummerSlam was one of those pay-per-views where I legitimately thought that the Usos were going to lose. Like, it
Was
was
it
one of
that
those.
was it SummerSlam or Clash at the Castle? The first time that they had a match was better.
Money in the Bank was their first one,
Okay. I can't
and
remember.
then
Yeah,
their
whichever
second
one was
one
their
is
first one was really good. The second one didn't live up to the first one, but that first one was so good,
the
like
first
match of
one
the
was
year.
unbelievable, but the second one I thought because they got that bullshit win, uh,
Yeah,
at Money in the Bank, by they, I mean the Usos. The
yeah,
Usos got that bullshit win against them where his shoulder was clearly up, so I
yeah,
thought they were going to tie into that, and then the Bloodline storyline was going to, culminate within the few weeks there. Obviously kept going because of how over Sammy was and whatnot.
mhm,
So they kind of got the short end of the stick after SummerSlam and then
yeah,
injuries and whatnot.
yeah,
It's a they if they were not as over as they are, then it would be a time where it's like, oh shit, okay, maybe they got to do something or we got to push them or whatnot. But there's no reason to. They're so
yeah,
over. They have them be in the Rumble match and just hype up the Rumble, and
mhm,
then just absolutely put on a show and be human highlight reels in the ring at the Rumble, and then just build them up for Mania for a tag team match. I
yeah.
think that's a smart move to keep them in the mix, and then honestly just keep the backstage segments and have them in as much as possible.
You know what I think is great? This reminds me too is